Good morning, listeners. We're here again on a Thursday morning. Grab your coffee or tea mugs to charge yourself with all the energy to ride on the learning and sharing roller coaster with yet another episode of a LinkedIn live talk show series, Productivity League, hosted by We360.ai. So, as we always say, in our talk show series, Productivity League, our mission is always crystal clear. We want to build a dynamic and constructive learning community around this vital topic, productivity. The objective is clear. We all want to grow together with the collective knowledge and experiences of our entire community. Good morning, everyone. I'm Kunal Sinha, your host, and today we're diving deep into a very interesting and the hottest topic right now in the industry. So, we'll be doing a deep dive into product marketing funnels, and we have an interesting name to our event topic from clicks to conversions, a deep dive into product marketing funnels. So, as we all know, that in today's competitive business landscape and the ever changing funding winters and funding landscapes, the question is not just about growth. It's about sustainable and impactful growth strategies that don't just rely on heavy investments in paid advertising. The concept of scaling through a product led approach challenges traditional growth models. It focuses on the important role of the product itself, its user experience in driving the business expansion. So, we are here to explore how different businesses, regardless of size or resources, can actually implement the strength of their products to fuel substantial growth for their business and for their brand. Today, we have an amazing mix of guests having diverse experience across organizations of different sizes and verticals to share their experiences on this super interesting topic. So, not taking much time, let me quickly introduce you to the amazing guests for today's event. In this episode, I'm privileged to host four amazing guests: Bhavi, Chandan, Arun, and Nihal. I'll just give a brief intro and then we can move to like talking to the respective speakers. So, Bhavi is currently leading product marketing at Cloudgen. Her expertise lies in the art of scaling creative and user centric messages across multiple channels. And she has already crafted exceptional marketing collaterals for over 55 esteemed brands. Some of them includes like Randstad, HCL Technologies, Amazon, Grundfos, and many more. So, welcome Bharvi to our show. We're privileged to have you in our show today. Our second guest, Chandan. He's a senior product marketing manager, a senior product manager at Smartech, and he has been building some exciting projects while bringing AI to industries across e-commerce, healthcare, IT, real estate, and hospitality, and also in the field of chatbots and AI. Chandan has also a very interesting side of him. He also has numerous projects as self-initiatives. Some of them are Sanskritam, which is a Sanskrit morphology tool for NLP, Educom, Academy, DUB, the Doubt Hub, and Cloudhead. So welcome Chandan to our show. We'll be super excited to hear your experiences on this side. And it'll be super fun to add to this specific list of the guests. A third guest, Arun, he's currently leading product and growth marketing at Qoruz. He brings an amazing mix of experience across two exciting different verticals, B2B SaaS and D2C. So that is one of the very, very good mix that we'll be actually getting to hear from Arun. His power skills are product marketing, growth marketing, and brand marketing. And one of his very interesting biggest superpower is he can actually visualize a meme for everything and everyone. So Arun, we are happy to have you on our show today. And our listeners would definitely be super excited to learn from your experiences in this domain. And finally, our fourth guest, Nihal. He's currently a product marketing specialist at Gallabox, and he is a passionate 360-degree SaaS marketing mastermind. And as you say, for him, SaaS is his first love. He can turn into any conversation into a SaaS discussion. So it'd be super fun to listen to your thoughts, Nihal. Welcome to our show. And it is my privilege to have such amazing people in our show today. Welcome all of you once again. So before moving ahead, let me quickly explain the structure of our event. So what I want is like I have given a very brief introduction about all of you as per our understanding. But what we exactly want is we want the community to listen to your experiences about you, about your journey in quick 2 to 3 minutes. And then we can get into the specific questions that we receive from our community. And so we have separate questions for every one of you tailored to your specific experience, your exposure, your power skills. And then I would like to understand how all of you have the same challenges, have the same solutions addressed differently to different audiences or industries that you are actually solving problems for. So let me quickly start with Bhavi. So the lady with us, Bhavi, if you can actually just walk us through your journey about your experiences and your journey so far.
Sure, Nihal. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me to your talk show. I'm really excited to be with all of you here, and I look forward to taking home some great insights as well. About me, I've been in marketing communications for a decade now. So I have worked with both product companies as well as agencies, mostly on the B2B SaaS side of things. Even though I started off as a writer, I have mostly worked at the intersection of content, digital, and performance marketing. Right now, I'm part of the product marketing team at CloudGen. I don't lead the product team. You're going to get me in trouble there. But I do take care of content marketing at CloudGen, based in Hyderabad. CloudGen is a leader in providing FSM and EAM solutions for organizations, and they're based in California. So that's about me. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, Bhavi.
Yeah.
So over to you, Chandan. If you can actually get to know something about your amazing journey and the self initiatives that you have been working so far.
Okay, thanks for introducing me, Kunal. Adding something on top of what you introduced about me. So I started my journey as an engineer. Later, I entered in product management to wear a generalist hat. And then I started working in conversational AI space heavily and bringing AI to industries, as you mentioned, like real estate, e-commerce, healthcare, hospitality. So I also manage a product named Hybrid Chat, which is a product in conversational AI space, especially dealing with chatbots and omni-channel CRM experiences. So what I do generally, my approach of working is like I take care of the customer from awareness stage to purchase stage. Not only that, but also execution, so that we can bring repeat business there. So most important thing that is working for me so far is like customer lifetime value. So I focus on that metrics. I will talk in this discussion. I will talk more about how we can represent funnels from product management point of view.
Wonderful, wonderful, Chandan. It'll be super exciting and super fun to actually interact with you and listen to your thoughts. So, Arun, over to you. If you can actually just quickly run through your superpowers and your meme making skills and how he have been your journey so far.
Hey, thanks, Kunal. Thanks for having me. I mean, thank you, people, for even listening to our, this event in this morning. And see, there is no superpower as such and all. Yeah, it's just in the bio. And just to give a precise intro, I initially started as a sales guy. I handled B2B sales for this company called Wildcraft. Then I transformed from sales to a marketing role. I started with digital marketing, was a generalist for like 1 or 2 years, then started focusing on B2B SaaS with early stage startups, which are predominantly in the 0 to 1 and 1 to 10 growth phases, right? So all this time, I started as a growth marketer initially, and then after finding a few templates, I started to understand the foundation for growth marketing to excel is product marketing. So the key focus in the last 2.5 years is product marketing and product led growth. And growth marketing is something that I'm overseeing at a higher level. Yeah, that's pretty much about it.
Perfect, perfect, wonderful, Arun. So, over to you, Nihal.
Yes, thank you so much, Kunal. I hope I'm audible to everyone here.
Yeah,
Then,
Nihal, you're perfectly audible.
thank you so much. Yeah. So on a Monday, on a Thursday morning, 36 people listening all our conversations. Thanks to you all. It's been a great start for the day and for the week as well. So ending this year with a positive note on talking to you all about it. So as Kunal said, I'm Nihal. I lead the product marketing team at Gallabox. We are a WhatsApp automation tool that helps small businesses automate their WhatsApp conversation on WhatsApp. To simply put, to make your business manage on WhatsApp. And we are also in the conversational AI space, and we're also one of the top 10 companies selected by Meta as the conversational space as well. In the free time, like what I do is like I build micro SaaS. That's something which I'm really aspiring to become. Create some vertical SaaS niche and then try to get into it.
Wonderful, Nihal. So that's exciting. I'm like, I can sense your superpower, like turning any conversation into a SaaS conversation and then revolving around. You can, at the end of the conversation, you say that you can also end up selling something. So that's wonderful. And as a marketer, of course, that has to be a superpower. So wonderful to have all of you amazing people here in this show. So let me just quickly get into the specific questions that we have received from our listeners. And I'll keep the order random so that it doesn't seem to bias across anyone. So I'll keep shuffling between the people here in terms of asking questions. So Nihal, I'll start with you since you were the last one to get an opportunity to introduce yourself. So you'll be the first one to answer the question. So,
Got it. Got
so when we talk about, as the topic itself suggests that we are actually talking about not just bringing clicks to the website and then actually like bringing a lot many people, but actually focusing how we can actually focus on the conversions from the clicks, so that we can actually optimize the product marketing funnels. So starting with the same, I have a question for you. Is like the user journey is the most important part when we talk about in terms of clicks to conversions. So how do you go about mapping the user journey within the funnel, and what are the insights that this can provide for refining the marketing strategies going forward?
Yeah, yeah, that's wonderful question, Kunal. Thanks for asking that. And bam on the show as well. So for me, personally, I'll put my Gallabox experience here in the forefront and talk more about it, because that's why I would be able to connect you with some examples. So being when you see as a user journey, people come into it multiple touch points, right? They'll come out through ads, they come through organic, some come through ABM and other approaches as well. So putting it at the front of it, I would say like put your product in front. Right now, there's something a term called interactive demo. Everybody started to use as well, right? Put your product outside on the homepage itself. Let people explore the product without signing up for it. So it's like directly get into your product. No sign up, nothing is there. So in this way, people are no able to know about whether you're going to add value to the product or whether what value you're adding to the customer as well, right? So in that way, we try to map it along with the customer journey, also to what data tools which I use as well as the mix panel, to map the complete user journey of a user. For example, with Gallabox, we have a user saying that signing up for the product, right? And then he has to submit a form. Now we into like, okay, signing up a form takes 3 minutes of time. What could I do to optimize it much better? So we add an SSO, single sign-on, where people can log in with Google or Microsoft as well. So this break down a huge crucial number of people who are dropping off because of it. So now we're able to address one issues, and I think you just need to have tools like amplitude, mix panel, and clarity to see where people are dropping off and try to map it along with it.
Perfect, Nihal. So I'm like summing it up. What exactly you're saying is make your make the user journey as simple as possible.
Yes, true.
So that should be the actually fundamental, and that should be the actual game changer. So thanks for these insights, Nihal. Now, yes, when we talk in terms of the self-served approach in terms of product getting inside the product for a user, these are definitely some of the very useful insights. Now, let's say for example, if like there are multiple teams who are actually focusing on the sales-led growth, and so in that case, Arun, I will just come to you for this specific question. Is when we talk about the sales-led growth or marketing-led growth, in that case, there has to be a very strong alignment between the marketing and sales. So, can you just, in your experience, how important this alignment is between marketing and sales, and how it is helpful in ensuring a seamless transition through a funnel? And more importantly, what are the strategies that you have been using in fostering this collaboration?
Thanks, Kunal. Thanks for the question. I mean, first and foremost, for product marketers, I think because product marketers KRAs are not, they do not really have a standalone KRA, right? Either they would be enabling or improving the efficiency of the sales team or a growth marketing team or a product-led growth guy. These guys are, I see product marketers as enablers. So that way we will have to be very clear about what is the organization's goal first. So let's say you are a B2B SaaS company and uh, let's say you convert 4 leads a month. First be clear which team is actually, which engine is contributing to the conversions and the revenue predominantly. Is it the outbound sales effort, or is it your inbound engine which is doing the lump sum work? Look at which is contributing much. In our case, let's assume if it is the sales team which is contributing much of the efforts. First, align internally that by the start of the quarter or so, sit with the management and with the leadership team saying, sales team efforts is pulling almost all the revenue part. So let me put my efforts into the sales funnel rather than the marketing funnel. When I say sales funnel, right after a lead is receiving the demo from the customer, then it goes to the opportunity stage, then it moves to the negotiation stage, and finally becomes a closure, right? In this process, what are all the interims or what are all the frictions? Should creating a product video improve the number of leads from a demo stage to opportunities? Should having a proper competitor battle card improve the number of leads from opportunity to negotiation stage? That way, there are a lot of frictions. Figure out those frictions and set them as the project for the quarter or for whatever time period for that matter, right? That way, knowing what is the business need and which is driving the factor, and then setting KRAs would add value as a business, and would also and would also avoid the frictions between the sales team and marketing team. The word collaboration comes into picture because most often we should agree with the point that these teams don't really gel with each other. Each of the team has their own self egos. So by the start, setting the stage clear, saying this is the need for the business, so both of the teams, let me sit for the same goal and set our projects accordingly, so the number is achievable for both the teams, is the clear cut picture that we have to sit. And we'll have to be very very open about receiving when we are doing this discussion. That sets the stage clear, is my understanding and my feeling about it.
That's perfectly said, Arun. I'm like, decide the touch points and then focus on a step conversion metrics right from starting towards where like there could be intersection at multiple points between marketing and sales. So yes, define the KRS very clearly, align the goals initially, and then work towards improving those step conversions is definitely a perfect thing. So that's very very subtly put up, Arun. That's perfect thing. Now, aligning to the same question, when we talk about so much levels and so many touch points, then of course at every touch point or every step conversion, there will be a certain leakage. So, Chandan, I will come to you for the specific question is, what are the ways or certain metrics that we can track in order to identify if a funnel is leaking? So it could be for different use cases. It could be for e-commerce, SaaS, lead gen, landing page. What are the ways or metrics that we can actually track in order to identify if a funnel is leaking?
Yeah, if I talk about those metrics, like most important metrics, rather, despite of any industry or business, it's more about conversion rate. If your conversion rate is dropping or increasing, that is something that you have to observe frequently. But things are like, I mostly like middle of the funnel or any of the funnel. This is basically dependence on the top of the funnel traffic which is coming to the source. So I basically observe how much traffic which is coming from the top of the funnel, and where the traffic is really less, because if top of the funnel is not healthy, ultimately middle of the funnel and bottom of the funnel won't be healthy. So time, traffic across different funnels, from different sources, that is one important metric. Other than that, conversion rate. And third thing is like time in funnel. So let's say a lead is staying in middle of the funnel for longer time, a lot of time, then you have to work on that and you have to reduce that time, so ultimately you can reduce your CAC ultimately. So time in the funnel is something which is very important, and something which is also important, which is when customer is exiting from the funnel. It's about maybe people are leaving because of newsletters or email subscription, or your content engagement rate is poor. So all those things you have to take care of. So you have to decide to take exit from your funnel, and you have to optimize that stage. So few of these funnels and metrics that I try to track while designing whole marketing funnel.
Wonderful, wonderful, Chandan. So, yes, so as you rightly said, we can actually look into these specific touch points where we're actually seeing some drop in conversion rates, and then can go back and understand what exactly thing. And of course, if top of the funnel is unhealthy, definitely bottom of the funnel is definitely going to be unhealthy. So that's very very rightly said. And generally, companies start focusing so much on bottom of the funnel that they generally tend to miss that they actually have to increase the top of the funnel as well, and not just increase, also improve the quality of the top of the funnel. So that's very rightly put up. Perfect. So, Bhavi, coming to you. Sorry for like keeping you on wait for a very long time. So, since you are the content champ, so I would want to put this real question to you: that how do you approach creating the content that not just attract the clicks but also builds the awareness about the product throughout the funnel?
Right. See, one of the first things that you'll need to focus on before you even create your content marketing plan is building a narrative around your product. Now, this is a very strategic exercise that will, that will need the top minds in your organization to collaborate and guide the process. Even Arun had mentioned about how sales and marketing should collaborate for things to work out well. So it's essential for them for this entire exercise to happen, to get the right content that's relevant for your audience and also resonates with them. And I'll tell you how, because when you say create content that clicks and builds awareness, remember that's two goals that you're trying to achieve. To get people to click on your content, all you need to do is just pick their curiosity. And you can do that in so many different ways, even within the limits of whatever brand persona or tone of voice that you set for your product. But when you talk about building awareness, you need to take a focused approach. You need to define what you're going to talk about, and you need to ensure that by talking about it, you don't sound repetitive or monotonous. Otherwise, you risk losing clicks. And what's worse, if it's not defined, forget losing clicks. Your writers will lose the plot on what needs to be delivered, right? So, building that narrative around your brand and your product lines is very critical. What problem statement are they solving in the real world? What challenges does the industry face? What are your key differentiators from the competition? All of these need to be defined. It might seem very basic at first glance, but building this out in a manner that can be, adapted by your team can be a challenge. But once you do that, it becomes easy for them to create content that educates along the lines of each of those pointers that you've identified in your narrative. So once you do that, you'll see that you're not running dry of ideas anymore. Rather, your ideas are rich and deep and pretty capable of positioning you as an authority, and they are educating your audience through the funnel.
Perfect, Bharvi. So, thanks for actually addressing all the questions, everyone. And I must say that we all are like perfectly bang on target product marketers who knows the art of less is more. So we have already finished the first phase of the questions, and we are still left with an amazing amount of time. So thanks for all of you for being so crisp, so bang on point, and so on target. So we have time. If any one of you want to take some more time on answering the questions, you have all the time with you. So moving ahead, and I'll actually focus on the next question. And here, Arun, I have this question for you. But Chandan, since you were also talking about the same challenge, so I would want both of you to answer this question. So Arun, I'll start with you. As we were discussing about the challenges in the middle of the funnel, which again, as we said, companies either focus too much on bottom of the funnel or they keep solving the top of the funnel. And sometimes middle of the funnel gets completely ignored. So what challenges commonly arise in the middle of the funnel? And how can product marketers effectively address these challenges? Over to you, Arun.
Oh yeah, very common problem that we face, right? See, I've seen companies just doing this, invest the complete focus either in the money or the resource into the bottom of the funnel. So it's more about capturing the leads rather than generating leads where you are educating the customers, right? I look funnel this way. So initially, the customer is problem unaware, and in the second stage, the customer becomes problem aware, but not solution aware. And in the third stage, the customer becomes solution aware and product unaware. If I just have to think about, to simplify this with my own company thing. So I work with this company called Qoruz, right? It's a influencer marketing platform built for marketers to run influencer campaigns, just like how there is a Google ads to run, search ads or a display ads. This product is one such thing for influencer campaigns. Now, for the first category where my customers are problem unaware, this would be the kind of pain points that I would think of it as. So, what am I missing because I'm not investing in influencer marketing, but just in some other kind of advertisements or marketing channels? This is how the problem unaware statement looks to me like. And in the next case, how does an influencer marketing platform even improve my campaign efficiency? So yeah, I want to improve the efficiency, but how do you think that a tool can improve that? This would be the kind of questions or the kind of problematic areas that I would be thinking. And in the third phase, where the customer becomes, problem aware. Sorry, the customer becomes solution aware, but not product aware. The kind of questions would be, yeah, influencer marketing platforms would solve this problem, but which influencer marketing platform really helps me take a data backed decision when I'm, running a campaign? That way, the kind of, at each of the phase, I think a customer needs clarity in terms of understanding or in terms of solving a problem. We don't necessarily want to connect each of the stage with selling the product. It's more about how are we making the customer feel comfortable that, okay, at this stage this problem is solved, now come to the next step. That itself is fine, I think. So that way, sorry, I think I've taken a lot of time in this phase. Quickly, to understand, to address to the question, there are two factors which decides the MOFU thing better. Is the MOFU prospect even relevant to my ICP or not? That is one. Two, how is my MOFU prospect, consuming the marketing asset? Either it's a website or you put it as a product deck or a resource hub, whatever you are building, right? These two factors determine the common problems under the middle of the funnel, I believe. So for you to solve the point number one, where is the MOFU prospect relevant to me or not? First, you will have to be very clear about the ICP playbook. So I've seen companies just writing blogs thinking, okay, this content piece would fall under the MOFU thing just by doing competitor analysis. Or, you when you work with a company, you get obsessed about your customer and your product, and whatever you think, you start to feel that is right. No. Set the foundation right by creating the ICP playbook. That way, you will be very clear saying these are the ICPs and these are the personas involved under the ICPs. For this persona, this is the pain point, and this pain point is addressed by this feature from the product. Set this ICP playbook foundation properly and hand it over to the growth team or the sales team or whatever. So any communication from the customer facing team goes, it will be resonating, very relevant to their ICP, and not a random communication or a biased communication on how we feel about it. This solves the problem that, or this sets the stage right that, okay, this marketing asset is sent to the right ICP. Two, how is this particular ICP consuming my content, either through the website or whatever asset you have distributed, right? You can do it in two ways. There are customer behavior tracking tools. Let's say you are publishing a website, and when you are publishing a website, the assumption is simple. Okay, this is let's say it's a user persona page, and you want the customer to interact with the 1-2 elements in the page. So you consider that as the success factor. Maybe in that case, all you have to do is understand how the customers are actually behaving, what are the things that they're interacting with, which communication is most interacted, which has tools like Hotjar or Microsoft Clarity solves this purpose, where it gives a proper understanding that whichever relevant ICP that landed in the website is consuming the content properly, and it's navigating to the very next page or to the very next asset in the way I planned, which means the right guy is consuming the right content. At some point, I know that he's going to be going down to the funnel in the proper way. So these two funnels, I'm counting point one as the acquisition problem and point two as the conversion problem. Set these two things clear, and you are game for middle of the funnel marketing. And I don't really believe that middle of the funnel is something that has to be taken for granted. Equal amount of focus has to be going on middle and bottom based on what the business need is. If you have a lot of money and all you can do is, and you don't not want to necessarily wait for you to leverage the tofu and mofu, just capture the demand first, parallelly start generating demand through tofu and mofu, completely based on the team bandwidth, resource, and the expertise that lies in the team, I believe.
Perfect, Arun. So, like you very rightly said, middle of the funnel is a stage where if you look towards the top, you actually have to focus on the acquisition. If you move towards the bottom, then you have to focus towards the the conversion part. And the very rightly said bang on point is the ICP thing. So ICP alignment is definitely very, very important. And we generally say in our team as well, ICP is analogous or considered as a KYC in the financial institutions. Know your customer first. If you're actually not knowing your customer, you are acquiring the wrong customer. And if you're not knowing the customer, you're actually putting the wrong asset for the conversion efforts. So that will definitely be the game changer in terms of doing the right ICP playbook. So Chandan, over to you. As we discussed, that you were also talking about the middle of the funnel. So what is your take on this particular point?
Thanks for the insights on especially the ICP part, Arun. So adding on top of the same thing, like personalization is the key in the middle of the funnel, because now the customer or visitor is aware about your problem, and you have to make sure like you are educating them. So I follow these three type of categories in this stage. When you are educating customer in the middle of the funnel, there are three type of persona you will find. It's one, people likely to buy the product. Second, someone who can be convinced to buy the product. And third category is where someone needs a lot of education. You might need to run very personalized campaign for each of these use cases, where let's say someone who needs a lot of education, you are sharing some case studies, some blog articles where they can find the value in the product or services that you are selling in. So your campaign should be very much personalized. I have seen most of the drop coming from this only thing, where you are running some general campaign. It's not targeting the specific persona or psychology of the customer. So that is one aspect. I will say, like, one of the challenge, like personalization in the content, that can be coming only after you understand the psychology of the customer. Other than that, the second part is like you should have mainly your tofu should be very healthy, because let's say if you are trying to focus heavily on mofu, your performance of the mofu is going to be dependent on the number of leads you are getting actually to nurture. Because if we talk about the mofu, it is all about capturing and nurturing leads, either through content marketing, educating via case studies, uh, talking about how they can get ROI out of it. And I have seen like these days this going omni-channel trend is working really well. Like you are sending some WhatsApp messages, case studies, reminders, all those things. You are doing some retargeting campaigns, everything. So it's all about these things will be healthy only if you have enough number of leads from prospecting to nurturing stage. So your tofu should be very much healthy. If it is not, then it will be a challenge for mofu. And third thing is like in the middle of the funnel, most of the distractions come from the competition, because now you have already made the customer or visitor aware about your product. Now customer will surely do analysis like which solutions to buy, where they can save the pricing, where they can get the best value out of it. So they might be preferring competition, and this is where you need to make sure like you are taking their attention with your differentiators, with your pricing points. So mainly these are few of the challenges that comes in middle of funnel. It's about personalization, where you can define the customer psychology, and targeted campaign should be there. Tofu should be really healthy in order to make your mofu healthy, middle of the funnel healthy. And third is like how you are educating customer and how you are providing value in middle of the funnel, where people might not be going to competition, rather they can still believe in you and continue with you.
Perfect, Chandan. You very rightly actually segregated and segmented all the different areas and the different problem statements to be solved. And aligning with both of the thoughts, like both of you, that like actually talking about in terms of educating the customer in a right sense. And of course, this comes back to, and this boils down to the point that Arun said, know your customer well first, so that you understand their pain points, you understand their challenges, and then accordingly you can actually build your content and build your educational content around the same. So thanks for like for covering these points so intensively across amongst both of you. So now, Nihal, I will come back to you. And as we have been, so Chandan have also been like highlighting this point that yes, middle of the funnel and bottom of the funnel should be definitely be very good. But then to actually be able to solve these two stages, a top of the funnel should be definitely very amazing. And now, what in your experience, what are those some effective strategies where we can actually capture the attention of potential customers in the top of the funnel itself?
Top of the funnel is going to be like always the neglected part, right? People wanted to always, even my founder says, right? You know, we don't need like 10,000 traffic. We need 5,000 traffic who buy out of 5,000, 10,000 people. I mean, 1,000 people should buy the product, right? So everybody is very focused on bottom of the funnel content, right? For example, they like alternative content or what are top 10 tools in this category and all these things. But if you look at the stats, which clearly says that 80% of the B2B buyers are not ready to buy a software, right? You're trying to an audience whom are not ready to even buy it. If you just focus on bottom of the connect, they're not going to easily convert it. So the part which comes to top of the funnel is like how well you can educate your customers well, right? So to give that an example, again, I'll take a productivity here as an example. So you could write a content about like 10 ways to streamline your team's workflow, right? Give them a template. So if again, put my personal example here as well. If someone asks me what's the best CRM, I would just directly go and say HubSpot, because the way I've used their templates, and even for all of my product marketing assets, I use a lot of HubSpot templates to work on it, right? So you need to try to build a lot of content around it. Again, even this podcast, what we're doing is the top of the funnel. You're trying to educate your audience about what is productivity, how to do them better. You're trying to educate them in every stage of it, right? And that's where top of the funnel comes into the picture.
Again, so yeah, so thanks for putting it that way, Nihal. So yes, HubSpot Academy is actually a differentiator for HubSpot, which most of the people don't even understand. They just think that HubSpot is a better product and that's why it is being sold. But no, they have built an academy around it where people exactly want these things to be done. So thanks for putting this up. And yes, you very rightly said. Again, top of the funnel also boils down to how well you're educating a customer around the problem statement around the industry. So, Bhavi, I will come back to you on this particular part because when we are talking about in terms of educating the customer, now when we are discussing about middle of the funnel or top of the funnel, we are actually focusing upon how well we are actually educating our customer, and then which again boils down to what kind of content that we are creating. So, if I ask you that, what is the process that you adopt to map the content for different stages of the funnel? It would be top of the funnel or middle of the funnel, so that we can maximize its impact on conversions.
So, my response to that would be another dimension to what Arun and Chandan and Nihal have already spoken about. So I would say that, see, when you talk about the funnel is essentially about the customer, right? Except the nature of the customer keeps changing at every stage, you know. So you have your initiators who are there right at the top of your funnel, so they are the ones to make the initial contact with your website or maybe an ad copy. And then you have the influencers, who are typically the people who have certain influence on, you know, the buying decisions of the organization. Now these influencers are very different from your initiators, like in the sense that in terms of their demographics, the stage that they're in their career, their lifestyle, the choice of media that they're active on, the way they think, all of these could be different from the initiator.
So wonderful. And I honestly want this event to expand to more questions because this has turned into a very lovely conversation from all of you. But since we are also bound by time, so unfortunately we have to wind up now. So okay, so here is the final goodbye for today. Amazing speakers and all the listeners. See you all in our next episode of Productivity League. Signing off for now. Goodbye.